Well, USCIS actually went ahead and did it. They increased almost all the USCIS filing fees. When is it going to go into effect? How much was it increased? And what other changes come along with this? I'm going to go through all those questions and get you answers so you know exactly where we stand. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me to talk immigration. My name is Andrea Shev, and I'm the managing attorney at Shev Law Group in Los Angeles, California. I've been doing immigration for almost 20 years now, and I put together all these videos for you to give you short, concise, and easy to understand information on all types of immigration issues. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you don't forget to hit that little bell so you're notified every time a video comes out. I release videos at least once a week, if not more, to keep you up to date on all types of immigration issues and things that you need to know to be successful. Okay, let's just jump into it. So USCIS has been talking about increasing filing fees since November of 2019. And here we are in July of 2020, and it has come to fruition. The filing fees will go up as of October 2nd, 2020. Remember, not till October 2nd, 2020 will those fees take effect. So between now and October, you really need to make some really important decisions of if you can file and should you file your petitions that you qualify now versus waiting till October when the fees actually go up. Okay, first and foremost, let's go through some of these policy and procedural changes that are happening along with this final rule, and kind of we're stuck in there. So one of the things that happens, which is pretty significant for a lot of us that have been in immigration for quite some time, because we've always done it this way and now they're changing it to do it a different way. So some of these are pretty significant and big changes. One of them is the 485 combined processing with the 765 and the I-131. What those forms are is the 485 is for filing for adjustment of status from a non-immigrant to an immigrant. The 765 form is when you're filing for work authorization, and the I-131 form is for advanced parole, the ability to travel pending the application's approval or denial. So we used to be able to file all three of those together and pay one fee. Now they have actually separated them out. So you have to pay a fee for the 45, a fee for the 765, and a fee for the I-131. So now instead of one fee combined together, it's going to be three separate fees. That's a pretty significant change for us that have been in immigration for quite some time. Another change is going to be children under 14 that are filing adjustment of status 485 forms along with their parents. They weren't having to pay a whole other fee, and now they're going to have to pay a completely separate fee of $1,130. So that is a big change because children under 14 were not having to do that before. Another pretty significant change is the I-129 form for performing groups or for groups of beneficiaries. So let me give you a little bit of information. When you file an I-129 form for, let's say, a performing group of 50 people, then you can include all those 50 people on one I-129 application, and the petitioner only has to pay one fee. But now what they're going to do is they're going to limit the amount of beneficiaries on any of those I-129 forms to only 25. So that means that a petitioner will have to pay for two separate I-129 filing fees for any group that's bigger than 25. So if I have a 50-person performing group, then I'm going to have to file two I-129 petitions and pay two separate fees if I'm the petitioner. That's a pretty steep cost if you have a performing group that's gigantic, which a lot of performing groups are, because they not only have all their performers, but sometimes they have all their staff and everyone else that comes along, and it usually is a pretty significant amount of people, causing them now to maybe have to file 1, 2, or even 3 or 4 applications and pay 3 or 4 or 5, who knows how many, application fees or petitioning fees. Another huge one is in the world of premium processing. Premium processing is a fee that you can pay extra to get an expedited response for an application. And it was 15 actual calendar days. So if I file an application, they have to respond either yes, approved, no, denied, or we need more information within 15 calendar days of filing. Now, this new final rule is stating that it's not going to be calendar days anymore, it's going to be business days. So that significantly stretches it out, which I think personally is ridiculous because it's a huge amount of money that is being forced to be paid to get this service. And now they're actually asking for more time to process those applications. Okay, now let's go into the actual increases in filing fees. I'm going to now take you directly to the actual final rule, and we're going to kind of scroll through it. The final rule is some ridiculous amount of pages, but I'm going to take you right to the actual pages that deal with increases in filing fees, so we can kind of touch on a few that you can get an idea of what the increases are for certain types of applications. I'm going to put the link to the entire final rule down in the description below, and feel free to kind of browse through that if you have any time on your hands to see all the different, not only policy and procedural changes that are in there, but all the different increases in filing fees, so you can spend a little bit more time looking through all of them, because we're just going to hit some of the highlights. Okay, let's jump in here. The I-129 is the petition that is for all different types of non-immigrant visa, work visas, like O's and P's and H's and O and L's. That is the visa, that is the petition that handles all those types of visas. It is now going to be increased. But if you notice, it has now separated out each type of visa that applies to this particular petition. It no longer will be one petition that handles all those different types of visas. It will be a petition, an I-129 for each and every one of them. And the reason why they're doing that, as you can see very clearly, is that they have changed the fees depending on what type of visa you're applying for. So for example, if you're doing an H-1B, instead of being the normal $460, it's going to be $555. So that's a $95 increase for the H-1B filing. Now, if you're doing an L, which is also a visa that's filed under the I-129 petition, it's going to go from $460 to $805. Or an O is going to go from $460 to $705. So they are now distinguishing between different types of visas. So they're going to separate them out so they have the freedom of charging different fees for different types of visas. That's great. That's terrible. But what they're doing is they're doing that. And as you can see, depending on the type, it increases a different amount of money. The I-130 petition. The I-130 petition is a relative petition. It's a filing on behalf of a relative to get residency in the United States. Now, as you see here very clearly, it has an online filing fee and a paper filing fee. So across the board, if you file a petition online, that can be filed online because not all of them can, you will get a $10 discount. So that's why they have the distinction between online versus paper filing here. So the I-130 petition is going from $535 to $550 if you file it online, $560 if you don't file it online. That is not that huge of an increase, thank goodness, but it is an increase. The I-131 petition, which is the advanced parole document that lets you travel, that's going from $575 to $590, $15 increase. But remember, when we get down to the 485 adjustment, remember what I said before, how they're taking away that combined fee and they're going to charge them separately. So there's going to be separate fees now for the I-131, the 765, and the 485. So this is the I-131 fee of $590. The I-140 fee, which is a great one, that means that if you're filing for a green card based on an employment relationship, it's actually going down by $145. Great news. Finally, some good news here, right? So it's going from $700 to $555. Great news, good news. Let's move on. That's a good one. 485 is actually going down by $10. So it's going from $1,140 to $1,130. But be aware, remember that you still have to pay the I-131 petition fee and the I-765 fee, which before was all combined together when you filed for joint processing. So as much as it looks like it went down, it went up. So if you're filing for an adjustment of status application and you're combining the processing, you're going to have to pay those additional fees, which are not cheap. They're pretty significant. And again, like I told you before, if you are a minor, 14 years or younger, and you're filing jointly with your parents, no longer can you pay this fee. It's going to have to be the fee of $1,130. So that is an increase, significant increase for children under 14 filing jointly with their parents. Application to extend or change non-immigrant status, the 539 form, is going up just $20, which is good. And remember, $10 difference based on paper filing versus online filing. And then we have the 751 removal of condition form, which is when you get a green card and it's conditional on you being married and you have to file for the condition removal. After a couple years, that fee is going up significantly, 28% to $760 versus $595. That's not good. 765, which is the application for employment authorization that I've been talking about. That one is going from $410 to $550. That's a $140 increase if you're filing not related to DACA. So that means this is the other part. So you need the 45, the I-131 fee, and now this is the 765 fee of $550. Significant increase. Let's look at the N-400, which this is the big, huge deal breaker here. The N-400 is going up 81%. 81%. That is insane. It's going up from $640 to $1,160. So remember, people, this is a huge increase and a reason to file immediately if you qualify for naturalization now. You want to get it in now and not wait for these fees to increase. 81%. Increase. So it's $1,170 if you're filing normally and $1,160, a $10 decrease if you're filing online. So still huge increase, 81% or 83%. It's still gigantic increase. So these are the main changes in filing fees. Again, if you want to look more closely at all the ones I'm kind of scrolling through here, feel free to hit that link below and it will take you to this form to look further. Okay, so that was a peek into some of the changes in filing fees that are going to be happening beginning October 2nd, 2020. So make sure, again, I cannot stress enough that if you are ready to file something and you have the ability to file because you qualify currently, you really need to take in consideration these increases and these changes and file sooner rather than later, especially if you're filing an adjustment of status application or you're filing an N-400. Those are the two big ones that are going to have major increases that will significantly affect you. So make sure you make those decisions immediately. If you have comments or questions, please don't forget to put them below, and I'm more than happy to answer all of them. If I can't answer them right away, I will get you the information. I will answer them as soon as I can. I hope this gave you tons of information on these changes. Remember, they go into effect October 2nd. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button so we get lots more videos out to you. And don't forget to subscribe and also comment below if you have any comments, please, for us, for me, for other people that are watching this video. If you have any experiences or information to give them, please share your experiences. Everyone's going through this. We're all in this together. So please share as much as you can. Share this video with people that you know that are going through this also. I hope you have a wonderful evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in the world, and I really look forward to seeing you next time. Stay safe.